to even out. And it looks a whole lot better. Okay, this should work. Boop. Alrighty then. Oh, my controller's not plugged in. I don't know if this is a game that will make me... It might make me log out, log back in before the controller will work. I don't know if Final Fantasy XI is one of those games. It's an old game, so I expect it to not work. I'm not in... Yeah, I clicked in the window. Yeah, I didn't think it would. Doesn't look like it did. Oh, no, it did. Look at that. Just takes a minute. The software just has to be recognized. Alright, so we are here. I figure we might as well quickly start today in the Femina Aqueducts. So the reason my character is in here, by the way, is Mary last night was playing Final Fantasy XI. I don't think he's going to be playing it today, and I know I won't be playing tomorrow. Assuming there's no lag in 14, I'm actually going to get to go into Ultimate again tomorrow. And hopefully get some trio practice in. Fingers crossed. But last night after Mary was done, and I helped him, I was running to Valkyrn, and somebody asked if I wanted to do all the COP dynamics real quick, so in the next 15-20 minutes I got all those done. So this character technically is Divergence ready, I would just need the Lungo Jungos. Armand, welcome back for 1 year. 1 year. Thank you for supporting the stream 12 months in a row. Can I get some sub hype in the chat, please and thank you. And of course, hey, how y'all doing? Get some sub hype in the chat for Armand. Also, Silnix. Oh yeah, how is AV in Record Keeper Sil? Like compared to Nemesis, how's he going?
Hap creep absolute virtue in FFRK rep me hap creep.
Get some double mint sub hype in the chat for Silnix as well, please. By the way, happy Veterans Day to everyone, and thank you for your service if you have served. Thank you for supporting the stream, Sil, with that 10-month Twitch Prime resub, and of course, hey, what's going on, Sasquatch? How you doing? So, what's going on, Omega? How you doing? We're gonna take a quick visit into the Femina Aqueducts. Because it doesn't have a level cap, we could just run around all willy-nilly in here. There's not really a whole lot to say about it. We'll teleport back with the warp ring when we're done in here. And then we'll go out to the deserts. But since I'm already here, I might as well explore and talk about the Femina Aqueducts. Oh, hey, the login campaigns are back. Oh, I have 870 points. I wonder what I could do with 870 points. I could think of a few things. I could get a King Behemoth spawn, a few other things. Oh, God. I was that way with a few things. I wouldn't be allowed. When I was really young, I wanted to be in the Air Force, and they told me because my eyes have trouble that I probably wouldn't be able to serve. Which is good, because I ended up not wanting to really serve in the Air Force. It ended up being kind of like a pipe dream. So, the Femina Aqueducts. This is an area that's very similar to the other parts of Chains of Prometheia. Was introduced as a story-related zone that has some strong notorious monsters in it. It also has, let me get just 1 or 2 helpers real quick, because there are some level 99 enemies in here now. And it was part of the COP mission, I believe it was 2-3? It was either 2-2 or 2-3, I think it was 2-3. And your entire goal is to go through, kill a Minotaur, and then find your way into a secret room and discover some stuff. That's like the general basis of it, but it was used for a lot more than that. What's going on, Wolf? What's going on, Gaming? How you doing? So Sil, I don't know if the game has a way of tracking it. So Sil, before you fight AV, do you fight Jailer of Love? If not, the big regen that you can't dispel, I'd have to imagine that you can dispel it by casting one specific element. How you're going to tell that element, I don't know, because you said almost immune to every element. The way that AV worked in 11, the regen was tied to that elemental discrepancy, but there was a way to tell what element you needed to use, outside of just trying different elements. And big damage with big drain. Huh, that's surprising. It sounds like he might have the Dark Knight ability. I don't know how much they mimicked him. That's the thing, Sil. It depends on how much they mimicked him, because if you don't have to fight Jailer of Love beforehand, then it tells a very different story. So, as we were going through, so Femina Aqueducts, popular for more than just doing that mission, though. Fulmors, the enemies we mentioned from the Sacrarium, are also in the Femina Aqueducts. And they're popular for very similar reasons. They have an item that they can drop that you can then use to go on and get those belts in this aquarium, which is really the big use, and generating Fulmore hate. The one thing with Fulmores is a lot of the times they fight you in parties. So even if you are to be able to kill one of them, sometimes you have to learn how to kill 3, 4, 5 of them at the same time. His moveset is different every day. That makes a little bit of sense still. I might be able to wager a guess of how that fight actually works then. You have to link Amazon to Twitch. Arrowt. So basically there should be a way to link Amazon Prime to Twitch Prime, and then it'll give you a little crown and let you do that. What's going on, Aretha? What's going on, Epic? How you doing? There's also these Stegators. These are probably the most infamous thing going through the mission. The Minotaur looks exactly like this, but these guys have what's called true sight aggro, meaning that they can see through any invisibles or tricks you try to do. So you had to very carefully walk behind them. Also, this is going the wrong way to where we actually wanted to end up. So it was, so navigating and trying to, like, walk behind these things, like, basically people would use sound, like a sneak aggro, and they would, like, hug a wall like you see me doing. I don't need to do it because I'm level 99, but that was kind of the way that people traversed this area. Oh, this is the key. No, there's another way in there, isn't there? I could have swore that I could just go down through the other way. You don't need a bronze key for this every time. At least I don't remember needing one every time. Maybe you did. It's been a while. It has been a pretty long time since I've been here yet, because that's the entrance over there. I think I could take the other, maybe the other exit, and it would bypass that. Yes. Yes, that is very true, Arether. Took a little bit of getting used to for me too, but after a while it wasn't so bad. It's been a while since I've been through here, so that whole, the whole key situation. Oh, no, because if I go back up, it's gonna... Oh, yeah. No, that's gonna work. I'll just go the other way. What's going on, Maddie? How you doing? No, I think I actually do need the bronze key. So the Fulmores, I believe, drop the bronze keys, if I'm not mistaken. Most people had a thief do it back in the day. You could pick the lock as a thief. That was a pretty common way to go about doing it. There's another path back the other way, though. Getting lost in this place, not all that uncommon. So consider it part of the experience. So some other things that happen in here. There's a notorious monster. I believe it's called Ebba. It's probably up. So if we can get over to that area, I'll go show you real quick. Not a super popular one. Had one pretty useful item that you could get from it. The more important item for me, at the very least, memory-wise, is I think it's Tres Duendes. I think was the name. There's basically a tiny Fulmore Black Mage, and it's being controlled by a bat. I believe the bat's name was Tres Duendes. And it was a bat that had 3 different drops, but one of the more important drops was... Yes, okay, so that dropped me right near Ebba. I had a feeling that there was another drop that was past the bronze key. I'm just seeing if Ebba is up. I would probably need to kill something for them to spawn, because it's usually in this room over here on the left. There is an item called Vampiric Claws. Now, monk weapons by default are blunt weapons. They deal blunt damage, which is probably not a surprise to anyone who follows this channel who has played Final Fantasy XIV. Shouldn't be a surprise at the very least. It'd be very odd to me if you were surprised by that statement. Yeah, I think this is normally the room where Ebba spawns, and they're not here, so whatever. That just means that I won't get to kill them. And the Vampiric Claws not only had a chance to drain health, super low chance, it was completely worthless, but it also had... it was also slashing damage as opposed to blunt damage. And then, so it was very, very, very useful for reasons like that. Because if there was an enemy that resisted blunt damage, you could equip the Vampiric Claws, and while they were only level 39, you would probably still at least do somewhat decent damage, considering you were doing a different type of weapon damage. There was also another, in the Wings of the Gods expansion, there was another fist weapon over in Battalion Downs that did piercing damage, so you could have the holy trinity of different types of weapons. Woohoo! Slacking! Oh yeah, dude, fonts are tough, man. Fonts are tough. No, destroyers were blunt-type weapons. Destroyers had other properties on them. It was vampiric claws and some sort of, like, level 40-something Qatar that was piercing damage. All the other ones were blunt damage. Those weapons stood out as the only ones that broke the mold on that one. Yeah, dude, if we got slashing and... Oh, shit, I just realized I went through the wrong fucking gate, by the way. Feels bad, man. I went through the gate that leads back to the entrance. Wait, is there... What is that? I just saw that over there. Oh, you know what? I might actually... Oh, okay. I see. Never mind. I understand. It's letting me... Okay, those are stairs. They look like tiny crystals to me. Yeah, you can go up these stairs and then go down the other side. Oh, by the way, this game didn't have any animations for climbing stairs, so this is what we got instead. This is a cutscene of climbing stairs. Enjoy. Yes, that was the one from Wings of the Goddess. There's the piercing ones. The piercing weapons came from a notorious monster in Battalion Downs S. And then the vampiric claws were the ones where Tres Duendes is, which he's probably not up either. Just by default of the way that he spawned, but still. Yeah, it's Resident Evil 1 style, boys. Dude, listen, it went over well in Resident Evil 1. It's gonna go over well here. Yeah, the Tres Duendes room is up here to the north. It's the very northwest room, pretty much. There should be a Fomor Black Mage in here, and I'll kill him, but the Tres Duendes, I'd have to wait like 15 minutes for him to spawn. So you got the little Fomor Monk right there. It's in his Jujutsu Gi. Mighty swag. Yeah, and when you kill the Black Mage here in the back, he can sometimes respawn with Tres Duendes and the Black Mage. Except that the Black Mage is Tres Duendes' pet. See? Goodbye. So now, give it like 15 minutes, you could come back and he could be something completely different. That being said, that is nowhere even remotely close to where I'm expected to be right now. Like, this is the complete opposite direction. If we want to go where I'm supposed to be, then we need to go back out this entire room, because this room has nothing to do with anything. Hey, what's going on, Baton? How you doing, dude? So, this room right here would be the ledge where you go after you've beaten the Minotaur. So you would need to go in through this room. This one requires a bronze key, and this one I absolutely remember needing a bronze key. Yes, okay. Whereas the other spot you could go was off to the sides here. I think it's that one in the other corner? I think it's over this way. What's going on, Baton? Now, how you doing? How you doing? So what people used to do for this mission, the Minotaur, when somebody aggroes it, it will pull everyone in the party in the entire zone to the Minotaur's location. So what most people would do is they'd send one person they trust who can get through the entire instance without dying or even being remotely at risk. And that person would be the one entirely responsible for getting the entire party to the Minotaur's room. You did that just so you could bypass people running through and dying, and then you need to res them, and blah, 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 blah. So you send one person, and when they aggro it, everybody gets pulled in, and then you start the fight. Air elementals. The best ladder animation of all time, of course. I'm doing good, dude. Just continuing day 2. the fuck is this? Is this the back entrance to that other place? Oh, it is. This is the back entrance. Oh, no, this is the exit. My bad. This is the exit of where you would end up and then go out. Alright, well, we're not going to make it to the Minotaur because I don't remember the way. I could have swore you, like, go up through... Oh, I see it. Never mind. I see what I would have wanted to... Yep, okay. I see now. I see... Okay. Yeah, I see where I would have wanted to go. Oh, it's too late now. I ain't doing that shit. I'm glad you enjoy it, Ryoka. Thank you. I was going the right way before, and I had convinced myself I was going the wrong way, and so I ended up walking back towards Trace Duendes. Alright, so that's the Femina Aqueducts in a nutshell. The Minotaur would have died in one hit anyway, pretty much, and I'm not farming a bronze key to go up to the other part of the room. So next we're going to head to Vana'diel and the Alta Deserts. Luckily, we could just warp ring the fuck out of there. And then in 10 minutes, warp ring again. Any day now, Adulin. So we're going to go to Bastok for this one. We're going to go to the mines, to the auction house. We're going to walk through the Zerun mines real quick. Not a very exciting zone, so not much you need to say about that unless you started your journey in Bastok and you had to do one of the very first missions in there. Even then, it's not a very memorable place. That being said, it has been changed. It has much stronger enemies in there now. It's, but none of them aggro, so... Feels bad, Grindy. No, warp ring on out of there. Though I'm not gonna lie, I am itching for some Warframe. I can't find my Tabnasian ring, by the way. I have to have one. I just don't know where. I mean, then again, I do have this other ring, so maybe I just didn't give a fuck. I might have stored it someplace or something. Capacity ring. A bunch of other shit from yesterday. You know, capacity ring, isn't it double capacity points today? I might want to use that in case I'm going to kill anything. Warframe, be willing to ask for help if you're getting into Warframe. Trizek ring. Oh, there it is, Tabnasian ring. Yeah, like I said, I did store it away. It's in my mod case. Alright, so the Zerun mines most people just use to get into the Coraloka Tunnel. That was its primary function. There's a very low-level mission here for newer players, where you had to go through here and talk to an NPC real quick. The only thing is, nowadays... What's going on, Jiangxi? How you doing? Help us in... Not for carries, but for, like, mods. Like, if... In certain chats, avoid the general chat. But in the other chats, you have to be very willing to accept help whenever it's offered in Warframe, because it's a massive grind otherwise. So all these enemies that are down here now are like level 80 plus enemies. So you'd think normally that's a huge disaster for new players. It's a trap if you don't examine them first, but none of them aggro. Absolutely none of these monsters aggro. None of these bats, none of the worms, none of them aggro. So even though they're level 80 plus, if you're a brand new player, you just don't fight them and you don't have to worry about it. I mean, these enemies die in like 2 seconds. Thank you for the 2 cheers, Kowalski. As soon as I get my meditate. That was weird. Oh, I spelled Fudo wrong there. Alright, I'll just use this one then. Boop. Spell it Fuso. Oh my god, camera, please. There you go. Fudo! This character's on Asura, yeah. I didn't play on a serve. Oh my god, that was 319 limit points? Yeah, it's double EXP and double CP right now. That's for fucking certain. What's going on, Fortune? How you doing? The other thing that would happen here is when there's actually a place where you can leave the Palboro Mines via boat, and that's actually required as part of the Dark Knight quest. You'll end up here, pretty much. So we just talk to this guy, he'll let us through the Coraloka Tunnel, and then we can... Coraloka Tunnel's got a bunch of stories for people. Whether it be the worm notorious monster that you needed to trade the ore for in order to get the throwing weapon that black mages would use. It was a crystal of some kind that you could get. It began with an M. Oh, actually, it might have been the higher level worm that had the one that began with an M. 11's going well. The tour is going well so far. So easy to level in 14. Well, I guess to be fair, it's super easy. The capacity points one is the more important one in 11. Capacity points are quite valuable. Yeah, there you go. Morion Tapham. I do remember it began with an M. But I knew that it was some fucking weird word. They couldn't just call it fucking shiny crystal or some shit. Yeah, the Phantom Tapham is the other one. Obviously, I remember the Notorious Monster. It's just not the name of every item. There weren't. There are now. More recently, in the last 2 years or so. So, Coraloka Tunnel. Coraloka Tunnel is an area that became more popular as kind of years went on. Most people will know it now as the place where they went to do their Summoner Burn parties. Basically, a Summoner Burn is where a super high-level player who's not in a party runs and grabs pretty much every enemy possible in the entire zone and then brings them to one spot. You get someone who's like level like 13-ish, I guess, like anywhere from like level 13 to 20. And they do something called level syncing, where you match the level of somebody else in your party and you kind of level cap your party at said level. And they would all kill, you know, they would all kill the summoners. I mean, you'd get a bunch of summoners and they use Astral Flow and they kill all the enemies. And when all the enemies die, and you'd usually do it like right here, you'd basically jump up, God, I don't even know how many levels. It's some ridiculous number of levels. And you could do that even until some of the really high levels. Because keep in mind that when you level synced, basically level syncing allowed you to gain experience points as if you were that level, even if you're not that level. So if you're level 70 and you level sync to 15 and you kill enemies that are strong to a level 15, you'll keep leveling past 70. So people would use this to get all the way up to level 70 plus or 75 just by doing that. Pretty much. The only thing is you always needed to find someone with a job you could level sync to. Because if you didn't, then it kind of killed the point of training all these enemies together because you weren't going to get any experience points from them because you were too high of a level. So that's the thing that Coraloka Tunnel is most famous for now. Another thing that we kind of passed by up on that ledge that we just kind of walked up and down twice over there. On this side of the Coraloka Tunnel and at the far end of the Coraloka Tunnel, there's a question mark you can interact with that moves around. And if you trade it, I believe it's an iron ore for this one. It's some sort of ore that you need to trade it. It'll actually spawn a worm notorious monster that links any of the other ones nearby and gives you an item called a Morion Tapham, which is a throwing item, but you never throw it. You just leave it equipped and it gives you passive stats. And then you hope you never accidentally press the throw button by accident. And then you use a Corsair to reset your 2 hours, which is what Astral Flow was, the skill that you needed to do this, like, to abuse this. You needed your Astral Flow skill, which had a 2-hour cooldown. So if you had a Corsair who could reset that cooldown, you could then immediately go do another pull, pretty much. Yeah, these are, oh yeah, you don't like the combats? Combat. And otherwise, it's a series of tunnels up on the side. There's also some other quests. I believe one of the ninja quests happens here as well, apart all the way to the north, if I'm not mistaken. One memory I have in particular, and it's a memory of a place I believe we're going to be passing soon-ish. Yeah, I think it's over there coming up on the left. There's a room with a crab notorious monster. I don't remember the crab's name, but I spent a fair amount of time. He dropped a sword called the Nadders, N-A-D-R-S. And it was basically a mediocre sword that had a very, very potent poison tick, or poison on hit effect that it could do. Yeah, Cargo Crab Colin. There you go. I soloed him as a level 50 thief using blood bolts, which were basically a ranged weapon that could heal you. And I spent a lot of time fighting this guy for a sword that is like, really, you're not gonna use it all that much. Like, it's a good novel, it's a cool novel item to have, but he spawns in this room over here. Yeah, I'd have to kill the enemies to get him to spawn. But he spawns in this room right here. And on the far end at that, all these combats. Combat? Combat. And you can see there's like clippers here at the end and the sea monk. Yeah, so basically you kill this clipper right here. And there's a couple of other clippers you can kill. And then there's a chance that it's going to be Cargo Crab Colin, pretty much. And I remember killing him a handful of times as level 50 thief. Just to get those natters, just to say I had them. Because I liked I liked the poise effect. Poise effect was pretty alright for soloing. If you were fighting an enemy and you had no sort of advantageous weapon type against them, like for example a thief fighting a fucking crab, did not have a great weapon type against them. Neither my bolts nor my daggers were very good against crabs. It was nice to have that poison effect to kind of even it out, because it was a very, I think it was like 15 damage per tick or something like that. It was some pretty decent number. Yeah, so every day still, that element's going to change. So if you don't beat him by I guess like 6 p.m. Pacific today, or 5 p.m., whatever time it resets, it's going to reset again. It's going to change its element again tomorrow. I had a feeling that's what it was, Sil. Is you had to break his regen by casting a specific element. See, it's a good thing I played Final Fantasy XI, because how long would it have taken non-Final Fantasy XI players to figure that shit out? That his regen was actually fucking breakable with the same element. Meanwhile, I heard what it was immediately, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably that. Oh, so Petrify and Silence the whole team? Yeah, if that's his moveset today, that's going to be a problem. Because that move is an asshole. It probably means he's also... Oh, yeah. No, that's going to be bad. That's the Medusa Javelin. Actually, no, the Medusa Javelin was single target. They might have made it AoE in Record Keeper. So, for Coraloka Tunnel, that's the gist of it for the most part. The place where we're going to end up is in the Alta Deserts, which is another Xylart expansion area. It's the only Xylart expansion area I think we missed yesterday. After that, it's all COP. Because we went to Kufim, we went to Kazam in the jungles, and Ugalepi and Ifrit's Cauldron, and we went to Zeta and Sky. So yeah, I think this is the only one. Alright, so now we're in the Alta Desert. I'll let the music play for a little bit. Alright, Orin, I don't care. Yeah, C is on our soon-to-visit list. We visited most of the other COP areas. We didn't hit up the Olton Movopolis or Atawa Chasm, or Ulagrand Range, but we have hit up most of the other areas, so the COP areas are next on the list today. And if we reach that bit goal at the top, I'll go do Limbus, or something like that. I'd prefer to do Anheriar, but Limbus is a big one. So these deserts... are deserts. We're in the Eastern Desert. The Eastern Desert is literally like just straight up desert. Like this is what the whole zone looks like. Now to be fair, this whole zone is the playground for a notorious monster known as Cactrot Rapido, or Cactrot Rapido, however you want to pronounce it. Basically he's a cactuar that is sprinting around most of the time. And you can usually find him with something like this. It's hard to find him though. Or it's hard to get a lock on him and keep a lock on him. He's basically a cactuar that's running incredibly fast across the entire desert, and he won't stop for fucking anything. The one big thing that you need to do to stop him is he needs to see you fighting another Sabotender. If he sees that, he'll stop and attack you. The big thing with him is he uses 10,000 needles, and yes, it is evenly split between everyone it hits. So there were two ways to approach that fight. One of them was that a red mage or a job that does 0 damage per auto attack could solo him. As long as you never got hit by him with like certain mitigation spells, and all of your damage was, how do I say, as all your damage that you dealt to him didn't give him technique points, he can never access 10,000 needles. So red mages soloing him was a pretty popular thing because they could just use their end spells, which gives them magic damage per auto attack. The other thing you could do is just bring a shit ton of people to split the damage between 10,000 needles. That's it. It was just everyone in range got hit by 10,000 needles. It was just basically a, hey, do you have enough people to survive this check? Until people started realizing you could do that solo thing with the red mages.
Did someone say hit the mid goal?
Yes, it did, Mel. Thank you for the 100 cheers. Got some dollar. Most people would just try to avoid letting him build up TP in the first place. It was way easier than trying to get 18 people for a monster that didn't really have a great loot table. Pet jobs were also good because pet jobs could split the damage. The pets, that like Summoner and Beastmaster, their pets would split the damage as well. So it was probably more common to grab a bunch of Beastmasters and Summoners than it was to grab much of else. So he dropped a bow, if I'm not mistaken. And that bow, and yes, I know the music stops. It's going to do that every time. Cactrot Rapido was the Arco de Velocidad. He also had the Arete de Sol, but the Arco de Velocidad was a strength +1 bow that during the daytime added regen. Strength +1 isn't an awful stat on the bow, and the bow itself is not a bad bow, but it was hardly worth the effort of gathering 18 people to get it. And the regen was only 1 HP per tick during the day. The Arete del Sol was an earring that had 12 light resist, which light resist wasn't that important for most bosses. It also had resist, stun, bind, and gravity, but the rate at which those procced was so low that it was never really valuable. The bow was the better reward to work towards. Alright, now that the music's going to be mostly the same, we can hop on to Bill. Well, Cactrot Rapido was around way before Puppet Master was around. So, by the time Puppet Master was around, no one really cared anymore. Most people were doing the Red Mage strat where you just don't let him build TP at all. That was the more important thing to do. Now, in the western Alta Desert, it's far less of a desert and more a series of ruins. Xylardian ruins, as it is the Xylard expansion that this area was released in. Now, the Western Desert is popular for different reasons. For one, it was home to a very, very rare, originally a very elusive, hyper-notorious monster called King Vinegaroon. For the longest time, people pretty much wouldn't fuck with that guy. He's one of the most brutally offensive, notorious monsters in the game. And all he does is scorpion-style attacks, like, you know, AoEs and poison and stuff like that. He does all the standard attacks, he just does them with such frequency and such high stat numbers that he was a pain in the ass. And what most people eventually started doing was zerging him. You know, you could actually hold him indefinitely while you got ready to zerg him. It was just, you had to kite him in a very specific way, because otherwise he would start drawing people in and it would become a fucking shit show. And people would just zerg him down. He dropped a helmet. If I'm not mistaken, the helmet was the one that pretty much you couldn't use the helmet like full time because the helmet was gonna fucking ruin. Oh no, it's the Ace's helmet. Yeah, the Ace's helmet. I was thinking of a different helmet. Yeah, drop the Ace's helmet, which was one of the best helmets in the game. Strength +4, accuracy +7, and haste +4%. Accuracy, haste, strength, solid helmet. Very, very coveted item. To boot, the only time he would spawn is within super long windows after he had previously died, and only during double earth weather. Now, I know my head is kind of blocking it, but and it's also really small because it's 1080p, but there's a tiny little earth weather thing above the mini-map behind me, and I still don't think you can see it. It's only one, you need 2 of those, and then he'll spawn. Oh, that's neat. It's on sale on the Square Enix website. Right shoulder. There you go. That one. It's tiny. But in other words, he's not up right now. Other than that, most of the area here, Revelation Rock, is all ruins, and Anticans, a beast tribe that was exclusive to the area. You can see them all over here, all the ruins. And if you go through certain parts of the zones that are under us, there's a lot of puzzles and there's plates that are weight related. I feel like there might be a weight plate somewhere up that I can see from up top. But basically, they were plates that prior to a key item being introduced, they were weight related. Basically, 1 Galka could open the plate, or you would need 2 of the medium-sized races, which would be like a Hume, a Mithra, or an Elvan, or you need 3 Taratarus, or any mix of the bunch. So like 1 Tarataru and 1 Elvan, or yeah, Elizan. We'll get that right. They're fucking elves, alright? Thank you, by the way, for the 29th month on a road, Jacob. Could I get some sub-hype in the chat, please, and thank you for Jacob's 29 months. Get some sub-hype in the chat, please, and thank you. And, of course, hey, how you doing, dude? Yeah, there's some other notorious monsters here. Dune Widow is one of them. There's also the entrance to the caves over in the very southwest corner, which will take you up to... Oh, also, by the way, I didn't thank one of the other subs. I gotta go back. Mel Zinke, thank you for the $4.99 sub as well. And Million Games, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Get some sub hype in the chat, please, and thank you. No, it's probably not that your sub length didn't carry over, Mel. Your sub just probably wore off for too long. So the other area that's popular here is right... Yeah, we still need to go to Cape Tarragon, too. That's the one other Xylartian area we missed. I don't have them unlocked, Exus. And it is not a short process to go unlock them. So this is the Kuzotz Tunnel, by the way. And this will eventually lead to Cape Tarragon. So we probably should delay touring this area real quick, because I didn't show you guys Rabaul, which is the main town in this area. There's also some other places that we'd like to visit first. Hey, Sil, you're doing it. It's so much easier now that you know the element, isn't it? It really helps that it's dark also. I'd imagine you're having a pretty easy time with it being dark. I will say this, Mel, a lot of streamers have been championing Twitch for a total time subbed. Versus just... Or, like, for the message to read this, like let's say you just subbed and you had a sub streak before. So let's say that sub streak was 6 months, and that month right there was a 7. A lot of streamers have been championing for the idea of, you know, Mel has subbed for the 7th month, for their 7th month. It is their... And then, if it's a streak, after that you say, like, it's their 6th month in a row. You know? That way it, like, says how many months they've subbed and what their current streak is at the same time. A lot of streamers have been championing for that. Because, in our experience for our work, sometimes people just won't resub because they lost their streak. That's from our experience, that's not all that uncommon. Sometimes people lose their streak and they just won't resub because they don't want to be embarrassed of not having their streak anymore. It sounds silly, but it happens. Also, Jerry, that's another name I haven't seen in a while. What's going on, dude? Welcome back. Hopefully things are going better for you now, dude. Thank you for supporting the stream with that Twitch Prime sub. Can I get some sub hype in the chat, please, and thank you. And of course, alright. Rostrum pumps were not from rock. Rostrum pumps were from Atawa Chasm, from the Antlion. Oh, this music is the best, Omega. Yeah, but I mean, think of it this way, heroes. The whole point of subbing is to support the streamer and, like, to get, you know, to get certain rewards and shit. But then to just be like, well, I'm not gonna support their stream anymore because I lost my streak. So from our perspective, it's like if we could recognize total months versus just streaks, it would be fucking fantastic. I mean, anyone who's played this game could write a fucking book about it. So, the next city we have here is Rabaul. Bayou Curry, what? Who said I'm going anywhere? Somebody just typed in all chat, this EXP boost is lit AF. Lit as fuck. So Rabaul, this, not a super popular city. Titan's quest is here for one of the proto crystals, like we did with the Leviathan quest yesterday. There are some other things here, but from my experience, Rabaul wasn't all that popular. There are some other quests that you have to do through here. But this was, if I had to pick a place I would probably spend the least amount of time, it was Rabaul. This guy's fishing here. This looks like it's part of the fishing quest, because he's got the glowing fishing rod. Yeah, so I'd imagine it's gotten a little bit more popular, because this guy's got the glowing fishing rod, which I believe is one of the newer ones. Does have good music though, and a home point to boot. This guy, I believe, also has a pretty is part of a quest or two. But other than that, there's not too much to say about this place. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing Bestock stuff, you come here. But other than that, like, there's not really a whole lot of important things that happened here. It's 7:42 in the morning. Most people came through here to get a chocobo before we had mounts. That was the main reason to come through Rebo. You wanted a chocobo, if you didn't just get one at the teleport point. They do, Bear. That's how Twitch works. You sub on one channel, and as long as it's not a better TTV emote. It has to be a better TTV emote. If better TTV, the streamer has to do it. So now with the Alta Deserts, we're gonna go into the underground area where the Anticas live. I'm very specifically gonna go to an area that used to be pretty popular for leveling. Now, the area below me, if I were to go back into the East Alta Desert, I could get to Titan very easily from there. There are some Antica and Sabotender or Cactar Notorious monsters down there that have some pretty decent drops as well. Thank you, Epic, for the 1,500 cheers.
Cheer goal hype.
Thank you for the 1,500 cheers. Could I get some dollar in the chat, please? And thank you for Epic Face for the dollar. I stopped playing during Trials of Magian. I shouldn't say I stopped playing during it. I wasn't playing during Trials of Magian. Yeah, no, that sounds about right, still. That's what that's what it did. I mean, obviously the 800% thing is a record keeper calculation, but dude, still, I'm just glad that my advice to you actually ended up being what broke the region. That pleases me a lot, so. Everything's been going well, Jerry. Yes, we moved over to Los Angeles. And now I'm going back to my normal thing. Ooh, pink badge. No problem, Jerry. It's for the 15th anniversary.
Also pinked your badge. Hi boo.
Thank you for the 500 cheers, Epic. Ooh, pink badge. Get some dollar in the chat, please, for Epic Face, please and thank you. Dollar. So I will say that the ruins under here, complicated, but not as complicated as they may originally have been made out to be. The area we're hovering over right now is one of the more complicated bits of it, because you end up having to go to like a really far away spot to get to the spot where we are right now. And then that's a drop-off point. You can't go down that ramp over there. So in order to get in there, you end up needing to hug this left wall. Twitch Prime is an icon, yeah. If you link Twitch Prime with Amazon, then you get the little crown you have next to your name, Coraloka, yeah. 1,000 cheers from Million Games. Subs and cheers. What a boss. What a boss. Thanks for the 1,000 cheers, Million. Looks like we might be doing Limbus today, ladies and gentlemen. This character is qualified to do Divergence. Tomorrow, I don't think I'll be playing 11. I think I have Ultimate in the morning. Assuming the game doesn't lag and we can actually do Ultimate, I think I'll be doing Ultimate tomorrow. Thank you for the 1,000 cheers. Can I get some dollar? Yeah, Twitch Prime's not automatic, Trigalia. If you're not there every month to do it, then it's not gonna stay. Ambuscade, I wouldn't even put that to a vote. That would be like way down the line. So this area right here where we are, used to be a pretty popular leveling area. It was kind of like the, hey, the other spots are full, can we go here kind of spot. But it was pretty much the same enemy types, beetles. I think there are also other enemies down here. All the cool stuff. Oh, no. This actually might not have been the spot. No, this isn't the spot. This is a different spot. This was, you had to follow this to get to a different quest. Yeah, I'm filling in again, heroes. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, Son Crow. Not sure how it's pronounced, but I'll give it my best shot. Thank you for supporting the stream with that Twitch Prime sub. And of course, So these are the Anticans, or the Antica, whatever. I just called them Anticans. Antican Skywalker. So this is, I believe, one of those weight-related... Is this one of the weight-related? No, this one's different. This isn't the weight-related one. If it was, my fat ass would be able to, yeah, to do it automatically. Oh, maybe I have to talk to the door first. Oh, yeah, it is, but I had to interact with the door first. Okay. Oh, no, I have the key item that opens it, so it doesn't even matter. Yeah, so you can go into all the different rooms through here. See? Closes again. And then my fat ass opens it again. There you go. Subtender Bailor. Wow, that thing's incredibly easy prey. Wow, these things are incredible. Oh, yeah, these are the Princeps. These are the higher level ones. Thank you for the 200 cheers, by the way, Mel. What's going on, Evelyn? How you doing? And there's a... I mean, this place gets pretty crazy. Ooh, I remember this. So, there should be 6... Yeah, so... Oh, I remember this. There's 6 rooms here. And I remember farming something in these rooms. I feel like one of them has a hole. Oh, no, I remember looking in these rooms for the chest. There's the question mark back here as well, which is for a different quest. There you go. I haven't had much time to enjoy Ultimate because I don't have a set group for it. Oh, Tigrali, you got to keep it. Look at that. You resubbed within 14 days. And it was a silver tier sub at that. Can I get some silver tier sub hype for Tigralia and some extra sub hype for them getting to actually keep their streak? Which they were concerned they may have lost. Ah, is this the quicksand? I remembered there being a quicksand spot here that you could fall down. There you go. 10 out of 10 quicksand. Thank you for the silver tier sub. Get some stuff hype in the chat. And of course, hey, how you doing, Tigralia? Yeah, that was the thing that I remembered. It's literally just a big butthole, but you know. 10 out of 10 quicksand with quicksand again. Follow the path here. All these sabotenders. Off into the secret area. Ooh. It's not that secret. Not secret at all, actually. almost like it's not even really a secret. You doing alright? Yeah, I'm doing alright. So you doing alright? Yeah, you doing alright. Yeah, a lot of areas are hidden on the map, so that way you have to figure out where you have to go. Meh. 4.2 is currently what it's looking like, Jerry. Alright, and then that's a zone out. Yeah, so basically once you go in there, then you can zone out here. And this will put you where in the western Alta Desert? It's been a long time, so... Oh, this puts you here? Oh, man. It's a weird place. But it's okay, because we have Bill. Yeah, they pushed it back a little while ago. Oh, look, a ledge. Our biggest enemy, a small ledge. Back to being too weak to be worthwhile. So I could jump off there and leave, or I could go over here. Oh, it's part of the Topaz Column. And I think there's another entrance over... Yeah. So this, as you can see, this never ends, pretty much, in terms of... like how to get to these places, because you can't just jump off those ledges up there. You have to go through, down and through. And as you can see, ultimately this is a fall off point for other spots, where as soon as you do this, you're pretty much saying, all right, well, I'm exiting, because you can see there's no other place for me to really go but to leave, because these areas connect each other and then the area jumps off. But you do have this Topaz Column, which is part of a quest. That's worth keeping in mind. Yes, jump is an emote. It doesn't have any sort of functional feature. And then you would just walk off right here. There you go. Boop. Can't get back up now. Alright, so now that we've shown off these parts of the desert, we can go through the Kuzotz Tunnel. Take care, Yagi. Have a good one, dude. A command? I don't know if there's a... I don't know if you can link a bit gold to a command without updating it manually. Oh, bit balance, as in how much you have. Yeah, you just have to hit the bit thing, tiny little bit thing. Voyager salad, please. Why did I unequip my ring? Oh, is it oh. Wait, no, why? It's my fucking ring. It's not my inventory? Did I put it away? What did I do with it? I did! I put it away in my mod case by accident. God damn it. I meant to take a ring out and I put a ring in like an idiot. No, where is it? Where the fuck did I put that ring? My actual fucking ring that I was using. Alright, let me see if I moved it to... So it's inventory. No. That wasn't the ring I was using, was it? A Hizumaru ring? It might have been the ring I was using. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. What's going on, Ghetto? How you doing? You can actually set, what's it called? You can set a configuration that things will auto-stack for you. So I just set it to sort auto. But you can actually set your inventory to actually auto-sort everything. And then, obviously items that don't stack doesn't really matter as much, but items that do stack, at least it will auto-stack them as soon as they fall into your inventory. So we're going to head to the Kuzotz Tunnel now. Kuzotz Tunnel is the connection